Hey, hello everyone. This is Abhijit, your finance Guruji. From today, we are going to start a very important topic, that is the Forex markets or international finance. All those who are doing finance, you'll encounter this topic at the graduate or the postgraduate level. Similarly, professional courses such as CFA, CA, and the likes also have this topic. So, let's. Did you know that we can trade in these markets just like we do in the equity and the derivative markets? Well, in India, it comes with a little bit of restrictions. We shall discuss this in the later sessions. Importers, exporters, and even students like you require these markets and interact with these markets. So, when you pay fees for your professional courses such as CFA, FRM, ACCA, or even when you apply for higher universities in the world, you generally end up buying Forex. It's just that you don't get to know because it is your banks or the credit cards which do the background. Thus, in today's connected financial world, the Forex markets are the largest and the most liquid markets in the world. With transactions in excess of $7.5 trillion every single day, these markets provide you endless opportunities for trading and arbitrage. So in the Forex markets, you can buy, sell, exchange and speculate on currencies. You can also enter the world of international trade and investments. These markets are open 24 hours a day for 5 days in a week, including most holidays. Hence, it becomes very important that we understand and study these markets. In today's session, we are going to understand the concept of currency pairs. But before I go there, it is important to know that all the currencies in the world have been allotted a 3-letter currency code by the International Organization for Standardization. So, for USA, the currency code is USD. For UK, it is GBP. For Switzerland, it is CHF and so on. You can see the entire list of the currency codes on this particular website link. Now, let us try to understand what is the currency pair. A currency pair is a quotation where one currency is expressed in terms of another currency. As you can see on the screen, I have written USD INR and some numbers. So this is called as a quotation, and this quotation tells you that how many INR you will have to give to buy $1. Let us understand in detail. So in this particular currency pair, the first currency is USD. The second currency is INR. So here USD is called as the quote currency or base currency or foreign currency. Similarly, INR is called as the counter currency or secondary currency or variable currency or you can also call it as home currency. So, what is written? These are numbers which are written. The first number is called as the bid rate and the second number is called as the ask rate. Remember, the bid always has to be less than ask. So, the difference between bid and ask is called as spread. Now, what do you mean by bid rate and ask rate? So, the ask rate is customer buying rate. That means if you want to buy $1, then you will have to pay the ask rate. The bid rate is customer sell rate. That means if you have $1 and you want to give it back to the bank, then you can sell it to the bank at the bid rate. As I said, the bid is always less than the ask. So how to read this quotation? This quotation is read as there is an imaginary 1 over here. So I read this as to buy $1 in India, you will have to pay ask rate, that is 84.2570. So this is what you'll have to pay if you want to buy $1 in India. And now suppose you have come from the US and you have some dollars left with you and you want to sell those dollars, because what will you do with those dollars? So if you want to sell those dollars, so to sell $1, you receive the bid rate. So I hope it is clear over here that whenever you require foreign currency, whenever you want to buy foreign currency, you buy it at the ask rate, and if you already have foreign currency and you want to sell it off, you always sell it at the bid rate. So the difference between these two is the profit or the spread which is earned by the money exchanger or the bank which is doing these transactions for you. So I hope you understood how quotations look like and how to read quotations. Now you must be wondering, why are these quotations written like in 4 digit after the decimals? There is a reason for that. Well, it is said that foreign currencies have to be expressed in terms of a concept called as pips. Pips stands for percentage in points. So 1 pip is equal to 1 upon 10,000. So if you see, the answer is 0.0001. So all currencies in the world will be expressed in this format. So that is the reason why whenever we write any currency quotation, we generally write it always in 4 digits after the decimals. The only one currency which does not follow this convention is the Japanese yen, that is the JPY. So the JPY is expressed in only 2 digits after the decimal. So that for the JPY, 1 pip is equal to 1 upon 100, which is 0.01. So you will always see Japanese currency is expressed in 2 digits after the decimal, while any other currency in the world will always be expressed in 4 digits after the decimal. So I hope you have understood the concept of quotations. Now these quotations can be written in different formats. So let us see what those formats are. Now let us see the different ways in which the same quotation can be expressed. So you can see the quotation is normally written as USD INR 84.2310 -84.2570. I already told you this is the bid and this is the ask. Okay, so now the same quotation can be written as 1 USD is equal to INR 84.2310 84.2570. Again, I can also write it as INR 84.2310 -84.2570 per USD. I can also write this as USD INR 84.2310 /84.2570. I can also write this as INR per USD. So again 84.2310 -84.2570. Now what I write next, you have to pay attention. USD INR, just a moment. Yeah, USD INR. Now I can write this as a shortcut 84.2310 / I will write only 570. Now, why did I do that? How did I write it only as 570? This is because if you look at the original quotation, the numbers 84.2 is repeated here also, 84.2. So in the bid also I have 84.2 and in the ask also I have 84.2. After 2, the number in the ask side differs. So that is the reason why I only write what is different. So 84.2 is there only. What is different is 570. Hence, instead of writing the full numbers again, I simply write 84.2310, which is the bid, slash 570. So it tells you that 84.2 is already there and the other digits are 570. So you can always follow this convention and the rates are given in this format. As you saw, one quotation can be represented and written in different ways. Nothing changes. It's still the same quotation. Now, following our current example, what if someone gives you USD INR 84.2310 slash 90? So this is the short way which I just showed you. So how to write it in the complete form? The complete form is called as the outright form. So let us see how to write this in the outright form. As I already told you, suppose this will be USD INR. Now if you look at this, only 2 digits are given. That means only the last 2 digits are different. That means the starting 4 digits will be the same. So let us write the bid rate. So bid will be 84.2310 and the ask will be, remember, the 90 part is different. That means the starting part 84.23 will be the same. So see, these numbers are the same. So now you know how to express any short form quotation in the outright form. Now there is one more important point to note. Sometimes you may have a quotation such as USD INR 84.2310 slash 00. Now if you follow what I told you, this will look like in the outright form USD INR 84.2310 dash, remember 00 is different, so 84.2300. Now there is a problem over here. Although what you have written is correct, but it is theoretically, technically wrong. Why? You know that this is the bid rate and this is the ask rate. And by rule, I told you bid always has to be less than ask. But in this quotation, after you wrote it in the outright form, you observe that the bid is greater than ask. That cannot happen, because don't forget, the bank is going to always sell it to you at a higher price and buy it from you at a lower price. That is the only way a bank can make a profit. Hence, bid has to be less than ask. So in this quotation, it does not follow. So this is wrong. So how do I make it right? So let us see how to make it right. So now that you have this quotation, and after writing this, you realize that the bid is coming as greater than ask. So what can I do over here? So what can I do over here? I can simply, what I have to do is, I cannot change these two numbers, that is 00. So what I will do, next to the 00, I am going to write plus 1. So next to 00, the first number I see is 3. So I write 3 plus 1. So now my quotation becomes 84.2310, 84.2400. Now if you see, it follows the rule, bid has become less than ask. So this is what you have to do. After writing, if it emerges that bid is greater than ask, then you know that it is wrong. So we have to correct it. Remember, you cannot change the bid rate because the bid rate is given to you in full. You cannot change the digits of the ask side which are already given to you. So what can you change? number one, you will always change the ask side. And which digit? The digit which is not given. So in my case, the digits given were 00, so I cannot touch the 00. So what is the next digit for after the 00? Before the 00, it is the number 3. So I just do 3 plus 1, and now my quotation is correct. So you can do this for multiple examples. Let us see one more example. I am giving all examples in terms of USD INR so that we are consistent with our explanations. So suppose 84 point, suppose if I have 2310, and suppose someone gives me 295. Now if I write this in the proper format, I will observe that USD INR 84.2310 dash, I told you 295 will remain as it is, so 84.2. Now if you compare the bid and ask, what do you observe? Bid is greater than ask in this quotation, which is wrong. So let's correct it. So what will you change? I told you, you cannot change 295 because it is already given to you. So what can you change? The number which comes before, that is this 2, I'll simply do plus 1. And now I have a new quotation. So what is my new quotation? 84.2310 dash 84.3295. Now do you see? The bid has become less than ask. So this is a very important thing that you should note. Don't think that the given quotation is wrong. No, we have to correct it by following this method. I hope this is very clear. Now, throughout our example, we saw only one currency pair, which is the USD INR. In reality, there are as many currency pairs as there are currencies in this world. So based on that, these currency pairs are classified into 3 types based on the volume and the liquidity that they have in trading. So the first type is the major currency pairs. These currency pairs are generally with the 8 major currencies of the world. So which are the 8 major currencies of the world? As you can see on the screen, it is the US dollar, the euro, the Japanese yen, the GBP, the New Zealand dollar, the Australian dollar, the Canadian dollar, and the Swiss franc. So when these currencies are paired with one another, they are the most traded currencies in the world. So you will generally see that the spreads between these currency pairs are very, very small because of the humongous trading volumes that they see during the day. The second type of currency pairs are called as minor currency pairs, also called as crosses. If you observe on the screen, these currency pairs do not have US dollar as a currency. So any currency pair which does not feature the US dollar, they are called as minor currency pairs. So trading in these also happens to a great extent, but it is not as huge as the major currency pairs. Hence, the spreads on these pairs will be little higher as compared to the major currency pairs. So these are some examples of minor currency pairs which are traded in the market. And the last type of currency pairs is the exotic pairs. Now these exotic pairs are basically combination of emerging market countries with the major currencies. So as you can see over on the screen that the Australian dollar has been combined or paired with the Norwegian krone, or the CHF has been paired with the Swedish krona, and so on. So these pairs will always have one major currency and one emerging market currency. They are called exotic because these are emerging markets and very promising, and the trading is not as high as the major or the minor currencies. So the spreads here will be higher than both the major as well as the minor currencies. So this is the list of exotic currency pairs. It is of course more than this, but this is just. Hey guys, so this marks the end of our today's session. I hope you now know how to read currency quotations and also the concept of currency pairs. If you have any doubts, You're welcome to put them in the comment box and I shall answer the same.